Hi everyone, I am Amaya Tala and I am really honored to be part of the Story Lodge. This is actually my first time making a story and telling it. And I intentionally made an effort to be part of this event because I feel like stories are very powerful and they communicate so much lessons in a very deeper level than just simply communicating in other ways, usually more less deeper ways. And I think using creativity with storytelling really gives a person a more immersive experience about what it is that that person is trying to communicate. So I think this is very powerful. I am learning this from Jim Greywolf Petruzzi and also the indigenous wisdom keepers, which are really amazing because I feel like I am getting in touch with myself, with my roots and relearning these things. And so this is my first attempt to really um, get get connected to that again. So this is my first time, so please bear with me. And um, this story pretty much reflects the where I am in my journey in my life right now. And this is like it really helped me put things in perspective. Um, so in the creation of this story and now telling this story, it also helps me a lot, and I hope maybe it could help other people as well. So um, yeah, so my story is entitled How a Butterfly Changed the World. And the main character here is named Mira, who is a butterfly. So Mira grew up in a very nice garden in the rural area. She was surrounded by beautiful flowers, abundance from nature, and one day it came a time that she felt the calling to venture out there, out in the bigger world. And she has heard from her parents about the these areas around the world that are more modern, that are deteriorating. There are less and less flowers, and the butterflies in those butterfly cities, the butterflies are becoming lazier. They're not really flying much, and they're becoming sicker and sicker. And there's just less and less flowers in those city gardens. So she felt the calling to make a difference, help other butterflies because she feels very connected with um, all butterflies, because she thinks that we're all one and that we're here to help each other out. So so she told her parents about this, and she said that she is ready to venture out on her own and explore the world. And she said goodbye to her parents, and her parents supported her decision and wished her a good journey, and that they'll always be here in case she needs anything. So she left after saying goodbye, and she traveled for quite some a few days. And when she reached the city, yeah, it was pretty much very close to how she had imagined it. There's less flowers, less plants. Um, she really felt sad about the butterflies that are living there because she feels like they are missing so much. So she settled down into her new dwelling, which is a little smaller than she's used to back home. And but it's not bad to her. Like, okay, she thinks that this is good enough. Like, she can stay here, she can live here for some time. And so, just the next morning, she didn't really waste any time. The next morning, she flew around the city and surveyed the land. And she, you know, came up with a realization that, this is pretty simple. We just need to plant more flowers. We need to plant more plants that have flowers. And so, um, she also learned that the other butterflies, the reason the flowers aren't really spreading is because the butterflies, they don't get out of their houses much, because they're feeding off of like an artificial nectar that is very convenient for them to get because it's just there. And so that made the butterflies living in the cities very lazy, because they can just get the nectar whenever they want, and they don't feel the need to go out there. And the artificial nectar that they're eating aren't real nectar, so it's not really nutritious for them. So they become weaker and weaker, that they can't fly anymore. So, she said, okay, maybe if I plant a lot of flowers, plants with flowers, and I bring this type of nectar to to the butterflies here, maybe that will solve it, right? So she went to the market, butterfly market, and she saw a store that are selling plant seeds. So she purchased a lot. She was wanting to plant 100 flowers, plant 100 seeds a day, because she really wants to get this done. She really wants to change the world. So she bought thousands and thousands of seeds, because she wants to do this every day for as many days as she can. And she was really excited because she feels like, finally we can have some difference, make a difference in this world. And so she did that. She brought the seeds. They were really heavy. It really is like, it was really an intense workout for her just to bring the seeds back home, and plan how many seeds are gonna be planted this day. So it was a lot of work. And so the next day she started. It took her from sunrise to sundown, even sometimes till midnight. Like, she barely even sleeping, because she really wants to finish, planting that many seeds. So she did that every day, and she never stopped until, she's like, I need to do this because this is for the greater cause. And after so many days of doing this, she got really, really tired, really, really tired, really exhausted. But she kept going and going until, you know, she got sick. Because obviously, when you push yourself that much, like, you know, at a certain point, your body gives way. So she got sick. She went back home to rest, and she wasn't feeling better. But even before she got sick, or before she went home, she did notice some of the plants blooming already, and some of the flowers from the plants already sprouting. So so she got some nectar from those plants, and she brought some of those nectars to some butterflies who are living in the city, and she was like, here, why don't you try these nectars. These are, from the garden instead of the artificial nectar that you are eating right now. you know I'm trying to make a difference here. And some of the butterflies they were like, okay, there's nothing wrong trying it. They tried it, and they said, oh, tastes just like the artificial nectar. And I was, and she was so confused. Artificial nectar, like, no, this is from the plants that I planted. And so come to find out, when she checked out the store, those were also artificial seeds that she bought. So she went home really, really disappointed, and she's exhausted. She's disappointed. She felt like you know, she failed. And after a while, the seeds that she planted, they did bloom, some of them, but they died because they they eventually died, and they didn't spread because there were no butterflies to really pollinate and spread them. And at the same time, they really taste like artificial nectar anyways, because they are artificial seeds. All right, so she went home, to her own dwelling, and she was so disappointed and depressed, and she didn't feel good. She felt really ill, and she was just like helpless. Like, what can I do to change this world? I didn't know it's gonna be this hard. I've been working so hard every day to change this world. Why isn't it working? So she called her mom and her dad, told them what happened, and that she was really sad about everything, and she's thinking of just going home. And her mom told her that, daughter Mira, you are a butterfly. You have everything you need to change the world. And her dad told her that, asked her, did you really listen to your voice, to your inner voice? Did you really pay attention? It will tell you what you need to do. And Mira was listening, and she was thinking about it, and she was still confused because she felt like, that's exactly what I did. I listened to myself. That's what I thought about doing, and I know I can change the world. I know. So I don't know why it's not working. You know. So, you know, after talking to her parents, she just, it was still a bright day during that time, and she started just missing home and just thinking about home, how back in the day, like, she was just careless and free, and she didn't really think about all of these problems, all of these challenges, and maybe it wasn't a good idea to go there. So so she started tearing up and crying, and she was sobbing. She was really, really sad, and she was really crying, just because of the helplessness and the disappointment and dismay. So, and then after couple of minutes, the sun shined down through her window, and she felt the loving warmth of the sun on her skin. And she looked up to the sun, and she asked the sun, hey son, how come you're so powerful, and it seems like, you light up the whole world. You affect so many things in this world, the trees, the water, everything, the animals depend on you, and you make the world go round, like you keep the world going, and you make it look so easy. And the son told her, replied to her, and he said, that's exactly what it is, how it is. It is easy. I'm just being the son. I am just being me. I don't need to put a lot of effort. I'm just being the son. And Mira thought about it, and she was like, just be the sun, just be you. No, it cannot be that easy, especially with the things going on around the city. Everything's just so far. The wreck is just so intense, so extensive, that we cannot. There has to be a drastic change. Like, it can't be easy. It can't. And Mira was like, you know what, son? I'm gonna show you that it's not easy. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove it to you that it's not easy. So the next day, Mira went out to the city garden again, which is not really much of a garden. And she was like, yeah, this is, I'll show you, son, that this is not easy. I'm going to try to just be myself. And I'm not going to care about this city. I'm not going to care about this world. I'm just going to be myself. And I know nothing's going to change. Nothing's really going to change if I do that. So she was like, okay, if I'm being myself, what am I going to do? What would I be doing? And so what she did, she just flew around, she explored. She felt like she liked to explore. And then she saw a group of diverse flowers at the edge of the city, like, really at the outskirts of the city almost. And she was really attracted to them. Like, they were so magnetic. And they're not one of the plants that she planted. So she knew that these were real flowers, and she just loved the sight of them. So she went to the flowers, and she hovered around, and she was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm just gonna hang out with these flowers, for a long time, and not care about anything. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't care about the city. And then she came, and then after days and days of doing that, one day she went home, and she was so surprised. I think she didn't really notice much before, that there were a lot of flowers like that all over the city. It's just all over the city. And she was like, what happened here? It's like a magic. All the flowers are all over the city. It's almost, the garden is restored. And she didn't really do anything. And she realized that in the process of her hanging out with the flowers at the edge of the city, she was spreading the seeds when she goes home and when she goes around the town to do chores and other things. She was unaware that she was spreading the pollens that the flowers need to make the seeds. So, um, so I was like, she was really surprised. And what she did, since she saw the flowers, she took some of the nectars from the flowers and brought them to the other butterflies, and they tasted it, and they were like, wow, this tastes really good. I mean, you mean this is like this is what we're missing. We have been missing this. Like, this is so much hundred, like so many times better than this artificial nectar. And we didn't know that this even existed in the city because we were just in our homes. So, you know, so slowly, yeah, the those butterflies left their home, and they realized that they were living a lie, living a lie, a life that they don't really want. So realizing that most of the butterflies left their home, and they hanged out with real flowers, and they and in the midst of just enjoying that, they were able to restore the garden. So Mira looked up to the sun and said, "Huh, you're right. It is easy. It is that easy." And a little embarrassed, she said that to the sun, and the sun was like, "Yes, that is how nature works. It is simple. Life is simple and easy." And the sun continued to be the sun. And the end. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the inspiration behind that story. It really helped me with where I am in my journey in my life right now, because as many other community changers, I do want to contribute to changing the world. And recently I found myself being too consumed by changing it, by the idea of changing it, that I have forgotten myself. I've forgotten that the universe, the spirits, the higher power have given me everything that I need, my passion, myself, my gifts, that I have all I need to contribute to changing this world, and I do not need to overexert myself or overwork myself to the point that I am unable to utilize these gifts. And part of the gifts is joy, and really, yeah, really enjoying life. That's part of the gift that are given to all of us. And when we exhaust ourselves to the point that we don't experience joy anymore in each moment, then we are not really changing the world. We're actually perpetuating a world that we don't want. And even though it seems convenient to just purchase things, you know, it seems convenient to do shortcuts. Usually, they have a side of them that is not really sustainable, is not really true, it's not really real. And so the artificial seeds kind of represented that it seems like some solutions seem so no-brainer, but they're actually like a shortcut to that misses the whole point. And yeah, and the whole point sometimes, I mean, it doesn't, probably will not apply to every situation, but there are situations when the whole point is just to be yourself, because nature created us this way, because this world needs someone exactly like us in our authentic, pure form in nature. And that's what indigenous peoples teach us. That's what nature teaches us. And it's really helping me to remind myself of that in this journey. And also, in addition to that, I also have found myself sometimes backing away from certain good opportunities, and feeling like, because sometimes those opportunities are not really aligned, just like the artificial seeds, backing away from that. And I have felt myself losing purpose when I back away from an opportunity like that. And I realized that sometimes backing away is actually my purpose. You know, to back away from something that doesn't feel right is a purpose. And so I'm not really losing purpose when I'm backing away from something that may look good on paper, but is actually not standing on a real foundation. So, and that's me being me, you know, me really listening to my heart of what I am, who I am. So, um, yeah, and just emphasizing how life is so simple. And it's amazing, every realization I make is the realization of very simple truths, and letting go of all these convoluted, complicated things in my mind. And nature is so simple, yet as someone, you know, who grew up in a modern environment, um, it's really sometimes hard to relearn those things that we have forgotten. So um, yeah, so just the main message is, if you want to change the world, be you, bring your gifts, bring who you are, your nature. The world needs them. And I hope that this story helped remind you that, definitely helped remind me that. And so I wanted to share that to the world. This is me being me. And I hope to share more stories in the future. And thank you for this opportunity to be part of this event. So thank you so much. Have a good day and namaste.